now let's get to the heart of the story, viewers, because there has been another flare-up of violence, this time in Kamjong district near the Indo-Myanmar border. Reports say the deserted Kuki village of Paimoy was set on fire, destroying several houses while the village church was left untouched. And soon after, another group allegedly attempted retaliatory arson in nearby Thangkul Naga areas. Security forces intervened in time and prevented wider damage, but several houses and temporary shelters were still burned. No casualties have been reported so far, but the incident has again exposed how tense and fragile the ground situation remains. And this violence is important because it is not being seen as an isolated arson case. It comes amid rising tensions between Naga and Kuki communities after the May 13th ambushes. 3 church leaders and 1 Naga man was, allegedly killed in those attacks, and later several people were allegedly abducted and held hostage. While many hostages were eventually released, 6 Naga civilians were later found dead, and that triggered anger, protests and highway blockades by the Naga groups. The latest arson has now reopened those wounds and raised fears of another cycle of retaliation, because there are now competing claims from both sides. Kuki in Manipur has condemned the burning of Paimoy village and alleged involvement of armed groups linked to the Thangkul-led NSCNIM and the Shani Nationalities Army. And on the other hand, the Eastern Command Naga Village Guard has alleged that armed Kuki militants crossed from the border area and then burnt Naga settlements. So these are serious allegations, but they also show the depth of mistrust that continues to persist on ground zero. Each side is blaming the other while affected villagers continue to live under fear. And the political heat has also risen. After Rahul Gandhi attacked the centre over the fresh violence, he said that Manipur has been burning for years and claimed that even after 2 governments and a president's rule, the conflict is only deepening. His charge is that the centre has failed to heal Manipur and failed to give the state a sense of empathy and security. The centre's argument will now be that security agencies are acting, with the NIA recently arresting 10 accused in multiple ethnic violence cases. But the question remains direct, viewers. If action is being taken, why does peace still remain so fragile in Manipur? And the larger concern is Manipur's border belt, because the violence has taken place close to the Indo-Myanmar border, where refugee settlements, armed groups and ethnic tensions overlap. And some groups have even raised concerns about cross-border militant movement and the role of armed outfits operating from across the border. And that makes this more than a local law and order challenge. It is now about the internal security, the border management, ethnic reconciliation, and also restoring public trust in the state machinery. So the story is this, that Manipur is not just facing one incident of arson, it is facing a chain of fear. One attack leads to anger, anger leads to retaliation, and retaliation leads to fresh displacement. And every fresh incident makes reconciliation even harder. The peace, a distant dream, gets even farther away. And the immediate priority should be to prevent more violence and protect vulnerable villages. The long-term challenge is much harder. That is rebuilding trust between communities that have stopped believing in each other, and also restoring faith in a state that has been living under fear for years to come. And this is what Rahul Gandhi has said in his attack against the centre.